Significant backlogs in forensic labs are not only severely impacting the justice system and delaying investigations, but are also preventing families from burying their loved ones. In Soweto, 5 families have been waiting for DNA results for 6 months. Newzroom Afrika's Nqobile Madlala is covering this story and joins us now live. Very good afternoon to you. Nqobile, not a new issue at all. I mean, this has been with us, I dare say, for decades now.
Definitely, Vuyo, but it's even harder to see how families are affected by this. For the specific families that we've worked with or dealt with, there's about 5 of them, and there's 6 people that they've basically been waiting for the DNA for. But essentially, just to take you back, maybe just to give you a bit of a background, and that's so. On the 4th of February, they're saying that they lost about 6 people that were friends. They went missing and nobody knew exactly where they were, but their partners that were with them did explain to the families that about 13 cars, SUVs cars that were white, basically took them, and they didn't know who these people were. They were basically wearing black pants, white shirts, as well as bulletproofs. They were then taken to a certain place. 10 days later, they were then found on the N17. This is where they found their bodies, in one of them, and this is about to sound very sensitive, but one of them was decapitated, whilst others were tied with basically tied up as well as shot on the head. So now, they wanted the investigation in terms of what happened with regards to the murder. However, at the same time, the families wanted closure and they needed that DNA process. And that process in itself has taken so long that since the 15th of February, when they started the DNA process, until now, they haven't been able to bury.
According to those who are closer to this, what seems to be the problem?
Well, they're saying
shortage of laboratories, shortage of skills. Where exactly lies the problem?
Well, first of all, we need the police then to respond to us, because they're the ones that are in charge in terms of the DNA process. This DNA process is basically looking at how these individuals passed away, but also looking at whether or not they are the right people for these families, even though they've never found anybody else and they could identify from the clothing and so on. So it's actually part of the investigation. So this is a DNA process that is at national police side of things. Now, they're saying that they're still speaking to Gauteng, and Gauteng is saying that they're speaking to National, that they've given them all the details, and it seems at this point they can only answer us tomorrow in terms of what is really happening. However, from the side of the family, they're saying that every time they speak to the people that they're supposed to speak to, the investigating officers and anyone that they speak to from the police, they're told that they must just wait. Everybody sort of waits. So the families would just have to wait in
order for them to be able to bury their loved ones.
It's unfortunate, Vuyo, because it has such an emotional toll. We spoke to one of our guests, was a mother to one of the 6 that passed away. And ever since that time, she literally can't speak. She just cries. She's heartbroken. At this time, even her health has taken a toll. And at the same time, she has lost her husband, who is the father, and all of this happened whilst they're waiting for the DNA process. And you'll know culturally that we've got traditions that you would do in the African culture, where they have to have candles, have neighbors coming in to show their respect. And they're saying a lot of people keep asking them, when will you bury? And that in itself also brings a lot of pressure to the families.
Well, certainly from what our parliamentarians were told earlier, this year, the backlog stands at over 140,000 cases, primarily due to such issues as underfunding, poor planning, and inadequate support. Well, hopefully the problem will be resolved a lot sooner rather than later, so that families can indeed be able to bury their loved ones. Nqobile Madlala was tracking that story for us.